There is a quick way to increase your value as a person significantly, and you'll learn it right now. Imagine you're in a social setting and you spot someone who piques your interest. In the case of a man, for example, envision yourself in a situation where you encounter an attractive woman in a lively environment. Rating her on a scale from 0 to 10, you consider her a 9. Choosing to approach her, you initiate a conversation, but while interacting, you notice she uses a series of slang and inappropriate expressions, speaking in a loud tone. Her behavior shows a lack of femininity and delicacy. To make matters worse, a friend approaches, whispering that she has been involved with 8 men that night. Faced with this set of circumstances, your interest in her diminishes. If you previously rated her as a 9, you now assess her as a 6. In other words, her actions caused her value to decrease. Now, transpose this scenario to the male perspective. Now, let's extend this scenario to the perspective of men. Just as a person's behavior can impact how they are perceived, the same applies to men. Imagine you encounter a man at a social event who initially comes across as confident and engaging. However, as the conversation progresses, he begins to exhibit arrogance, uses offensive language, and behaves in a way that lacks respect and consideration for others. This kind of conduct can swiftly diminish the perceived value of that individual. Imagine if a friend discreetly informs you that this man has engaged in questionable activities throughout the evening. Suddenly, your initial impression of him as a high-value individual starts to erode. If you once considered him an 8, his behavior might cause you to reassess and lower his rating to a 5 or 6. In both scenarios, whether male or female, behavior plays a crucial role in shaping how individuals are perceived and valued in social situations. It highlights the importance of respectful and considerate conduct in maintaining or increasing one's perceived worth in the eyes of others. For women, how you act significantly affects how they perceive your value as a man. If you behave in a way that makes them see you as less valuable, few will likely be attracted to you. Let me point out some behaviors high-value men avoid. If you want to be one of them, stop acting this way. The worst behavior is clearly showing you're impressed. It greatly lowers your value, can lead to serious problems, and contributes to damaging the overall image of men. I'm referring to the attitude of a man who, when he sees an attractive woman, reacts like a dog seeing a steak. The influence of behavior on interpersonal attraction is crucial, especially in the context of relationships between men and women. If your way of behaving suggests devaluation, it's likely that women won't feel attracted to you. Highlighting some behaviors avoided by high-value men is essential for those aspiring to be part of this group. Clearly showing to be impressed is problematic because it substantially reduces the perception of your value. Furthermore, this behavior not only brings personal challenges but also contributes to perpetuating harmful stereotypes about male conduct in general. I refer to the attitude of the man who, when faced with an attractive woman, acts impulsively, resembling the reaction of a dog in front of a juicy piece of meat. Thus, by understanding and avoiding these behaviors, it's possible to build a more positive image, becoming more attractive to women who value mature and respectful attitudes. The journey to being a high-value man requires authenticity, mutual respect, and an awareness of how your actions shape the perception that others have of you. Juicy when you see an attractive woman, if you immediately turn your neck to look at her, stare, or even make a move, you convey the message that you don't know how to relate to an attractive woman, which impresses me so much. It signals desperation and neediness, suggesting that you crave attention. This display of neediness and lack of respect puts you in the group of less respectable men. Never want to belong to that group. Women look down on these guys. If you act this way, stop. If you have a friend who acts like this, tell him to stop. Men who behave like this give women grounds to complain about harassment, saying that men are intrusive and repugnant. Even if a woman may seem beautiful and perfect, believe me, they have flaws like any other person, and many of these flaws only become evident when you get to know them better. They become apparent when you interact with them. Average men don't engage with these women, so they don't notice these flaws and perceive the woman as a perfect being from another planet when, in reality, she has several flaws. Now, when a low-value man sees a beautiful woman in flashy clothing, he easily gets impressed and shows that he is awestruck, giving the woman room to complain and, at the same time, boosting her ego. Remarkably, a high-value man can walk past the same woman and make her feel completely invisible. That's the difference. He may notice her and observe discreetly and imperceptibly, not like the average and desperate man. Another thing high-value men don't do is seek validation from women, a common behavior among ordinary men. They want to see if women validate them. The way you style your hair and choose your clothes are things that some men tend to agree with everything a woman says, omitting their own opinion in an attempt to gain her approval. Some even go so far as to ask the woman if she likes him. If you do this, you're not behaving like an alpha male, but rather like most average and insecure guys. A confident man who is truly in touch with his masculine side won't do this. There's no need for him to seek validation from the woman because he's confident within himself. Another thing that high-value men don't do is being unable to make decisions in the presence of a woman, friends, or family. How often do you ask these people what they want to do? Or how many times do they say what to do? And you respond with, whatever you want. High-value men almost never act like this because they always know where they're going in life and what they want. What a low-value man fails to realize is that every time he asks others for direction on what to do or says they can do whatever they want, he is essentially admitting that he can't make his own decisions, let alone decide for others. Additionally, he subtly seeks approval by sacrificing what he wants to do to please others. The fourth thing that high-value men don't do. Not valuing your attention is a mistake. Our world operates based on attention, and we can say that attention and your time are the most valuable currency. In a scenario where everyone is constantly on their phones and billions of people are competing for that attention, many guys wonder why some women talk and flirt with them but never progress to something more. It's important to understand that both women and men appreciate attention, but it can be said that women value it even more. Therefore, some women may flirt or make vague and ambiguous comments to make you think they are interested, even if they never had the intention to get involved. It's like casting a line into the ocean and catching a fish, just for the satisfaction of catching it. From the beginning, you know you don't intend to keep the fish, but you still cast the line into the water just to see. Attention has become a valuable resource in a modern world flooded with stimuli and distractions. In an environment where everyone is constantly connected to their devices, attention has become an essential currency. Men often wonder why, even after moments of conversation and flirting, some women don't progress to a deeper relationship. The truth is that in this subtle game, some women may seek attention without necessarily seeking a genuine commitment. To better understand this phenomenon, it is crucial to recognize that men and women value attention in distinct ways. While both appreciate being noticed and desired, women often associate attention with a deeper emotional connection. In some interactions, women may flirt or create an aura of interest just to feel desired, without the genuine intention of taking the relationship to the next level. This can be likened to fishing for fun, where the act of hooking the fish is the primary goal, not necessarily the intention to keep the fish. Understanding these nuances is essential to avoid misunderstandings and ensure that both sides are aligned regarding expectations. Ultimately, attention is valuable, but sincerity in intentions is equally crucial for building meaningful relationships. If you manage to do this often, women often do the same with men. That is, they act as if they're interested in you just to see how easy it would be to seduce you. Many men also employ this strategy, but most of the time, it's because they genuinely want to win the person over. However, when women do this, it can be summed up in one thing: attention. As men, we have a limited amount of attention and time each day, and if we want to be successful, we need to ensure that we're directing that attention to things that help us grow in life. Most women rarely give their attention for free because they understand the value it holds for the average man. In other words, they recognize that their attention has great value. Men around the world are constantly vying for the attention of women, and often, many men don't appreciate their own attention. Most men freely give their attention to women who may not even like them, and by doing so, they end up looking like any other man who has nothing good to do, leading an uninteresting life, or like any other man desperate for attention. Every time a woman casts a line into the ocean, she usually manages to attract the attention of around 15 fish. When a man casts a line, he may be lucky to attract 2 or 3. The reason for this is because women understand the value of their attention, and often, men don't fully recognize the power of their own attention. This attention dynamic is like a subtle game that permeates many social interactions between men and women. In the current context, where we are immersed in a constant flood of information and stimuli, attention has become a precious and contested commodity. Men often find themselves competing for this attention, often without realizing the significant value that their own attention carries. It's interesting to note that while some men adopt the strategy of freely giving attention in the hope of capturing a woman's interest, many women tend to be more selective about who receives their attention. This selectivity is not just a flirting strategy, but often a manifestation of an intrinsic understanding of the value of attention in the current social landscape. On the other hand, when men distribute their attention indiscriminately, offering it to women who may not show genuine interest, they risk appearing needy or uninteresting. It is crucial to recognize that, as in the fishing game mentioned earlier, the true value of attention lies not only in attracting it but also in strategically directing it to areas that genuinely matter for personal and professional growth. Understanding this attention dynamic can be essential for men seeking to build authentic and meaningful relationships. Valuing one's attention and consciously directing it to aspects that contribute to individual development can be a crucial differentiator in a world where attention is a contested commodity. When a high-value man has to respond to a message, he understands the strategic use of his attention. Unlike many men who might readily and indiscriminately give away their attention, a man of high value recognizes that attention is a limited resource. Therefore, he directs it purposefully, investing it in areas that contribute to personal and professional growth. Women, being discerning about where they allocate their attention, appreciate a man who values his own attention. This creates a dynamic where both parties recognize the significance of the exchange. Rather than scattering his attention aimlessly, a high-value man is deliberate in channeling it towards endeavors that align with his ambitions and contribute positively to his life. In essence, the emphasis is on cultivating a mindset where attention becomes a valuable asset, carefully invested to yield returns in personal development and the pursuit of meaningful goals. This intentional approach not only enhances a man's self-worth but also elevates the quality of connections he forms, fostering relationships built on mutual respect and shared aspirations. Before anything else, he is immersed in his responsibilities, thinking about his business, the advertisements he needs to create, the classes he needs to attend, be it for guitar or English, the physical workouts he needs to do, all while making time to give attention to friends and enjoy their company. In this balance, he not only values himself, but the woman realizes that capturing the attention of this man is a challenging task, leading her to appreciate him even more. Did you notice how changing habits and behaviors can significantly increase your value in the eyes of a woman? This man who manages his responsibilities in a balanced way and focuses on his goals not only demonstrates a determined approach to life, but also conveys that his attention is not easily won. He is someone who values his time, naturally making others, especially a woman, perceive the rarity of receiving his full attention. By concentrating on improving his skills, engaging in educational activities, maintaining a workout routine, and nurturing his friendships, this man creates a lifestyle that not only enriches him individually but also projects an image of someone complete and interesting. This approach not only increases his value in the context of a relationship but also strengthens his self-esteem and confidence. The process of changing habits and behaviors to build a more fulfilling life not only attracts women's attention but also contributes to substantial personal growth. Therefore, by investing in continuous improvement, this man stands out as someone valuable and captivating. Starting by avoiding the mentioned situations to further increase your value. Click on the link in the comments to watch the special video, show a bit of affection, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and leave your like. Thank you, and see you in the next video. Starting by avoiding the mentioned situations is a significant step to further increase your personal value. The special video, which you can access through the link in the comments, will provide valuable insights on how to refine your approach and presence even more. Showing a bit of affection, whether online or offline, contributes to building genuine and positive relationships. Subscribing to the channel offers continuous access to enriching content and valuable tips. Activating the bell ensures you don't miss any updates, keeping you informed about the latest videos. Leaving your like not only expresses your support but also helps the channel reach more people. I sincerely appreciate your engagement and look forward to seeing you in the next video, where we will continue to explore ways to enhance your journey towards success and personal growth.